guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back here at my favorite filming spot location because guess what? We have that first fully electric vehicle from Honda, and it's not what a lot of people expected. But what are we talking about? This vehicle right here. This is your 2024 Honda Prologue. This is the top Elite trim. But before we get into what they call North Shore Pearl metallic paint on this Prologue, let's talk about what's going on here. So lots of changing going on in the industry. It's funny because for a moment there, everybody was 100 miles an hour towards electrified vehicles. Now they've kind of hit the brakes a little bit, at least pumped the brakes a little bit, but that still is the thing that I think that many manufacturers are focusing on for the future is full EV. Now, Honda decided to partner with General Motors with this vehicle because Honda has not had a lot in pure electrification of vehicles. They've had hybrids, which obviously has an electric component, but this is their first ever fully electric vehicle partnering with General Motors. Now, they chose the name of the vehicle on purpose, the Prologue. If you like to read, you open up that book, that's what you see at the beginning of the story before you get into the rest of the chapters. So it's going to be interesting to see now that Honda and General Motors have gone their separate ways after designing and building this vehicle. It's going to be interesting to see what Honda is going to have in store next for us when it comes to fully electric vehicles. But what I want to find out is if you're looking for a mid-size crossover SUV that is electrified, do you go with the Prologue? Do you go with the more tried and true, the more popular Tesla Model Y? And at the end of the day, is this worth the price? Let's go ahead, let's dive into ours and find out. Right off the bat, the full exterior wrapper was designed in-house by Honda, and it definitely has those Honda components that you want to see. At the front of the business, you're going to get full LED headlights, LED daytime running lamps, and LED turn signals. You can see the pearl metallic pop of that North Shore paint. And then working our way down, fully functional corner air curtains, a little bit of gloss black, and LED fog lamps. Now, following across the bottom, we go from gloss black to this bright painted metallic silver, which gives it not only some nice pop of color, but also gives us some definition on this lower lip of the front fascia. Now, as we come across the nose of this vehicle, there it is, there's the Honda badge. You do have a forward-facing camera, which is nice on the Elite trim, body color, and then gloss black leading into a flat black grille opening, because remember, this does use that Ultium battery pack from General Motors, and it is liquid cooled. So we need some air to get in there. On the lip, I like the combination of the gloss black with the silver. The silver, like I said, just gives it that nice extra pop and definition of materials up front. Now, as we rise up, love the way that they designed the hood. You have a sharp angle that leads into a plateau, and then the two sides of the hood are actually raised up. So what that's going to do for you, it's going to give you good visual reference points to park this thing. It also allows you to see in front of the vehicle a lot easier because of the way the hood kind of slopes down in the large center part. Plus, remember, we're trying to focus on drag coefficient numbers, and they're trying to make this cut through the air like a hot knife through butter as well as they can. As we come around the bend, what are we working with? Wheel and tire setup. We got some massive wheels. So what you're gonna find are these 21-inch wheels, machined aluminum, the gloss black multi-spoke design. I like the machined aluminum accents all the way around. Tires are going to be a 275 on the width, 45 series sidewall, and you'll notice on the Elite trim, they bring the gloss black into the fender openings. I'm okay with it on this one because it does balance nicely with the gloss black that's on the front of the vehicle. And I'm telling you, the metallic pearlescent pop of this color looks stupendous in the sun. Now, as we come down the side of the vehicle, you do have gloss black on the mirror caps. They are power folding. You're going to have your 360-degree cameras. And then from the side, you can see that this is a little larger than what you would call a compact. And I think that's where the Model Y is going to be just a little bit smaller than this vehicle, but they are still in the same category. You have raised roof rails. You can get crossbars for this thing. The gloss black is taken around the window frame openings, on the door handles, and then along the whole side skirt extension. Working our way towards the rear, I like the way they did the rear quarter window. Good size, good shape, and the body line, how it flows into our tail lights, looks spectacular. Now you're gonna have a nice long roof spoiler. The only challenge is that I'm gonna have to zonk this wiper because it needs to be tucked underneath there. This just looks, I don't know, just looks ridiculous. And I know there's people out there that say this is a more efficient way of cleaning the back window, but having it exposed, but I don't know, there's just something that would just clean up the whole back, not having that there. You see our full LED lighting. The way you could tell automatically that this is an electric vehicle, there's the E badge. Kind of looks a little bit like a plug that Honda's using. We have all-wheel drive because we have not just one, but two electric motors. And then I'm really digging the way they're spelling out the Honda name on the back. I know they're just saving that for their EVs, but I feel like they need to use this on all their vehicles. It just looks classy and modern at the same time. And then as we work our way down the ground level, we have the metallic silver with the gloss black, just like we started up front. And obviously underneath, everything has been tuned for superior aerodynamics. But why don't we go up front, pop the hood, and see what the heck is underneath it. All right, guys, we got the hood popped. You do have hood struts. Underneath the hood, you could see the front electric motor. Remember, we have two electric motors that give us all-wheel drive. So what you're looking at is 288 horsepower, 333 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in a pretty brisk 5.7 seconds. Top speed is governed to 112 miles per hour. If you're looking at range, 273 mile range on the dual motor Elite trim that we have. If you're using a DC fast charger, 10% to 90% in 48 minutes. MPG's 99 in the city, 84 on the highway, and the vehicle weighs 5,268 pounds. So very interesting how Honda partnered with General Motors, because you look at the stats at this, it's just like a Lyriq, just like a Blazer EV. But why don't we go ahead, let's turn it on and see this Prologue move. All right, guys, we are inside this North Shore Pearl. They definitely need to use this color for some other Honda vehicles. North Shore Pearl 2024 Honda Prologue Elite. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Joe, I want an EV. I was actually looking at a Blazer EV, but I've always been a Honda person. I have a Honda Civic Type R. My father has a Honda, or technically an Acura NSX. He actually bought it in Europe, where it's called a Honda NSX. He says he's gonna leave it to me when he kicks the bucket. So I'm kind of looking forward. I hate to say it, but I'm kind of looking forward to that, even though I do love my dad. But anyways, you're probably saying to yourself, Joe, how much is this? Very good question. This particular one, MSRP right around $59,750. Let's see how it stacks up to the Model Y and the rest of the EVs. To the door panels, I do like the two-tone material. Soft touch up top, then you have that sort of off-white. What I have to zonk is the amount of gloss black around the switchgear. You're gonna be wiping greasy fingerprints all day long. I guess that'll give you something to do while you're charging at a charging station. Now, door pocket is on the tighter side, so maybe just one Einstein bagel with a cream cheese schmear and a large Crappuccino to wash it down. Now, going from the door panel to the dash, more of that soft touch. I like the two-tone. You got the 12-speaker Bose sound system. A bit of gloss black, but this gloss black you're not going to be touching, which is good news. Down below, you do have a purse, an area for your purse, your merce, your sack, your satchel. Even I would say you could even put like a 3-pound bag of pears, Bartlett pears here. Infotainment system. 12.3-inch infotainment system. This is basically like you'd find in some of the GM products. What I do like though is how they pull out the icon. So if you want to do one pedal operation, you could turn it on and off very easily and set the level, which is kind of cool. You hit the lightning bolt, taking care of business. That's what Elvis Presley used to always have around his neck. TCB tells you the charge, when your next charge is, your schedule. You could do all that mumbo jumbo. And then of course you have the Google Maps, the Google Assistant, podcasts, ambient lighting. I mean, they got you going, coming and going with this thing. Cameras that, because they are GM, have the best resolution. This is something that Honda definitely needs to take from General Motors, is the resolution of the cameras, because they are as clear as they come. And then we're right back where we started, back at home. And then I could go back to charging. I could go look at the Google Assistant, which I don't want to bother her. I just woke her up, I think. We'll go back to Maps. Maps. There we go. You only have to hit it 5 times. This actually has a power on button, which is nice, unlike the Blazer EV. You do have your dual climate controls, 3 stages of ventilated seats, 3 stages of heated seats, of course, heated steering wheel. You got a 12 volt, 2 USB-Cs, and this is weird. This is not a wireless charging pad. This is actually where you could put your Etch-a-Sketch. So I like that because I'm always traveling with my Etch-a-Sketch. 2 cup holders that have ambient lighting inside them. There's your Honda key fob, but I'll tell you a secret. Cover that up, it's a General Motors key fob, but technically it's a Honda key fob. Spinning around, doesn't that look familiar when you look at a Blazer EV? Wireless charging, just drop your phone in there. Hopefully you get it back. Like the soft material, the stitching. Open it up, you got a nice little tray for some Planters honey roasted. I love honey roasted peanuts. And then you got enough room inside. I would say easily you could put 4 more of those Einstein bagels. Tell them to give you the Rady's Ride schmear. That gives you more schmear for your hard-earned money. Because I like cream cheese and I love bagels. So seats, soft material, perforated. I love the 2-tone. Full electric assist for the passenger. Full electric assist, of course, for the driver. And you do have a panoramic sunroof. Now here's something I'm going to surprise you with. I don't mind the headliner. The reason why, it's the same color as the seats. It's not beige. It's this off-white, and I really feel like it's jiving pretty good in here. But why don't you come over here, and I want to show you behind the wheel of this Prologue. All right, guys, come on over to the business end. You do have 2 memory seat settings, and to get to the seat controls, all within fingertip reach. If you're wondering why is there a chime going on, because this is an EV and we have the door open, the Prologue doesn't want me to think that I could just jump out. I don't know. I know that we're in park. I'm the one who put it in park. But I'm 6 feet tall, lots of room. And that's one of the things is that you could argue, is it a Honda? Is it a General Motors product? The room in here is very spacious and they did a good job organizing it. Steering wheel, love the leather, the stitching, of course the Honda badge, flat black on the switchgear. You do have a heated steering wheel. And then you do have that paddle on the back where you could actually do your regen braking. Sport mode is all within a fingertip push of the button. And then you have your 11-inch digital gauge cluster, which, watch this. Through the magic of technology, you could put lots of different information in front of you. Of course, I'm always listening to 80s on 8 or 90s on 9. I'll do those too. And then you have a nice head-up display. But why don't we get in the back seat? Because I want to take you for a spin in this Prologue. All right, guys, back seat time. And this is where an EV really comes into play. I mean, look at how low and flat the floor is. That gives you tons of passenger leg volume. And I'm not even close to the headliner. Remember, I'm 6 feet tall. Not even close to the headliner. What I do have to zonk, the doors up front have soft touch. This is hard plastic. And an Elite trim, the top trim, $59,000? That's a zonk. I do like the 2-tone, how it follows away around the back of the seat. You do have some decent sized pockets. You could put easily, I would say, probably a 1-pound bag of circus peanuts in there. No problem. You got your AC vents. Of course, we have the Honda required trademark Twinkie tray. 4 Twinkies, slide them in. Slide your Twinkie in that hole there. 2 USB-Cs. You do have a home power source. Like I said, I just feel like I could really feel very comfortable in here. Too bad it doesn't have a longer range, because I feel like you could go even further than what the range is, comfort level wise. Pull this down, semi-soft, 2 cup holders. Why don't we go ahead, let's get in the cargo area, because we're almost there at that time. All right guys, cargo area time. You're gonna hit the button right under the end. Nice electric assist. You're gonna be greeted to some usable space. That's the thing with these EVs, they give you good passenger volume, good cargo volume. You have 24 cubic feet of space with the seats up, 55 cubic feet of space with the seats down. Now you do have LED interior lighting, which is nice. These little nooks where you could put a gallon of water, gallon of milk, gallon of beer. And then of course underneath is where you're gonna have all your charging accessories. Plus, this is where you can lay out your bags of chips. You could put your Doritos, your Fritos, your Lays, your Ruffles, even some Pringles, some cans of Pringles. Leave them back here as well. To fold the seats down, it's easy peasy. You're just gonna do this, and look how it flops down. I didn't even have to exert any energy. It's just I'm taking my fingers, boom. So now you have over 50 cubic feet of space. Not perfectly flat, so just be careful, because if you go to Costco and you pick up that barrel of pickles, that 50-gallon barrel of pickles for your summer eating activities, you're not gonna wanna put it too far forward, because then the barrel of pickles will just roll out. And I've heard about people tickling their pickles but not chasing their pickles, so don't go too forward with your barrel of pickles. But why don't we go ahead? We got some charge left in this thing. Why don't we go for a little on-throttle spin and see how the Prologue gets down to business. All right, guys, we are inside this 2024 Honda Prologue Elite trim, and right away, I do love how the interior is organized. You have a great view out the windshield. The A-pillars are pulled really far apart. Of course, you're gonna get all of your Honda sensing technology, your safety technology. The 11-inch digital gauge cluster is very easy to read, and there's many different ways to format it, whatever mood that you're in and what you want to have displayed. And then getting to the infotainment system obviously is well within reach as well. Now, the good news is just like the outside wrapper of the vehicle, Honda not only designed the style of the exterior, but also designed the driving dynamics. And I think this is where you're gonna find that it doesn't behave like a Blazer EV or like a Cadillac Lyriq, even though it is on the same platform, because they were able to do suspension tuning, steering tuning. All of those things have been calculated by Honda engineers. But why don't we go ahead and go on throttle? On throttle, here we go. I do like the way you don't get a bunch of fake sound pumped in. You just hear like a little whoop, like a Tron cycle sound. Other than that, very, very quiet in the cabin because it is an EV. They have to work extra hard on sound deadening material and the chassis because there's no other noise from an internal combustion engine to cancel out those vibrations. But going down the highway, even with the 21-inch wheels and tires, the ride is comfortable, it's smooth. And like I said, you know, it's easy to drive. You can tell exactly where your hood is, your fenders, the rear of the vehicle, where all of that is laid out so that you could park easily, drive in traffic easily, all those different things. Of course, you have your column shifted electric shifter, a column mounted shifter for the direct drive transmission. And I really love the way that you could adjust the levels of the regen braking and that one pedal operation, plus have that little toggle paddle on the back of the wheel. Because watch, I'm going to slow down here and I'm going to take my feet away from the pedals and I'm actually going to use that paddle. So it really allows for a nice controllable action from the brakes. But it's got plenty of power. You got the instant torque. It's just, I'm very curious what the next iteration of Honda's EV is gonna be. Are they gonna give us something more that we would come to expect from Honda? We'll have to wait and see. But like I said, I think one of the biggest takeaways that I want Honda to make in this vehicle is going to be obviously the cameras, because I'm going to put on the cameras now. Where the heck is it? There it is. You can see just how clear it is. The 360. We could go up top. The sides. They do a great job. Let's go on throttle. On throttle. There we go. Really nice too how you can leave the camera up if you want and really make your passenger sick staring at that as you're driving down the road. Not many brands allow you to do that, which is interesting. But steering is really, really good. The balance of the chassis is good because this is obviously an electric vehicle. The lower center of gravity really helps with handling and cornering, which is great in these vehicles. All right, guys, I put it in sport mode. The sad thing is that all you see is a little sport mode image. It doesn't actually change the graphics of the screen or anything, but that's gonna give you a little bit snappier response from the throttle pedal and also quicken up the steering as well. But like I said, from a handling standpoint, this thing does really, really well because of the lower center of gravity. When you are in sport mode, you do get a little bit extra pumped in sound through the speakers. I'll give you a little taste, watch. So nothing too obnoxious. I think the majority of people are probably just gonna drive around in regular normal mode because those are the only two modes you have. But having the all-wheel drive, having the lower center of gravity, and then of course, for those that love the Honda nameplate, you get it with this Prologue. But my question to you is it worth the price? And would you rather have this over a Tesla Model Y? But why don't we go ahead, let's get back to where it all started so that we could wrap this one up, and I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great day out here in the hot Florida sun. Definitely want to thank the whole Honda team for getting us access to this 2024 Prologue Elite trim. Let me know what you think. Are you liking the Prologue more than, say, a Model Y? And do you think at the end of the day this is worth the price? Let me know down in the comment section. But if you're new to the channel, you're on your way out, hit that subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile. Come back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Raised Rides family. Of course, you need to give it up. Stephen Flood Photography. No matter what the temperature is, Stephen is down to film because him and cameras are like peanut butter and jelly. So show him some love in the comment section. Thank you, Stephen, for all that you do. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.